star. Thank you for tuning in. I love them. I want the show to end. God bless you. Stay tuned for H.O. Barner, Our Power.
Okay, let's go.
Miss Renee Show.
I think I feel good right now on it.
Miss Renee Show.
Yeah.
Miss Renee Show.
Uh-oh.
I said Mustafa.
Miss Renee Show.
I say Mustafa.
We on the Miss Renee Show.
I say Mustafa.
Miss Renee Show.
Here's Morgan Johnson. No curfew. Miss Renee Show.
Okay, I like that right there. Miss Renee Show.
Renee Allen and friends, y'all.
Hey, Miss Renee Show. Oh yeah, we on.
Miss Renee Show.
Thank you for tuning in.
God bless. Good night, y'all.
Better sing it one more time, y'all.
Hey.
Hello and welcome to the Renee Allen and Friends show right here in the nation's capital on Georgia Avenue across from where? Howard University, HU, you know. Yes, I'm so grateful to be here today. It's a beautiful day. I stopped and got some iced tea, some apple pies, and we're just having a good time here at WLBS. I want to start off this segment first of all, thanking Bill Hart Photography. You can see him on the banner on the screen. He has been a blessing and a celebrity photographer, a friend, and I just appreciate him so much. And he's so affordable. This man could be so much more in price, but he keeps it, realistic and user friendly so he can touch everyone. And I love that about him. Where's my bell? Wait a minute, I need my bell because I needed to ching on that one for my Bill Hart now. Yes. So thank you, Bill Hart, for being a sponsor for the Renee Allen and Friends show. Love you much. I want to give big kudos out to the Afro-American newspaper. They had their 125th anniversary at the Martin's Crosswinds this past weekend. It was beautiful. Look at that. Oh my goodness, the photographer. That's Edgar Brookins, that works out of the Washington, D.C. satellite office, and his son Dexter, and the Queens, of course. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, there he is, Jake Oliver himself. Bam, boom, pa-dow. Oh, and oh my goodness. Now, I always get mixed up. I think this is Ron Baker. Ron and Don Baker, the celebrity, fabulous photographers, and my dear friend with Jake Oliver. What else do we have here? Oh, Kwaze Monfume. He chanted off and shouted the Afro's call, back in the day. And I cannot do it justice, but it was something like Afro. It's just a nice chant that he did so well for the entire crowd of probably 1,000. Maureen Bunyan, yes. Yes, that's Don right there. That's Don Baker, yes. So that's the other half of Ron and Don Baker, the celebrity photographers. Of course, where it all came from, the Murphy family. It was just a beautiful agenda. I had such a wonderful time. I was sitting next to Dr. Ife. Daphne Reed. Oh, Tim and Daphne. What a delightful soul she is. And the wonderful dress, the fashionista of it all. Loved it, loved it. And, of course, there's her husband. Yes, wonderful couple. And, of course, the infamous Afro-American newspaper van that you see on and about the DMV, delivering news for us, by us, and for us. And I'd like you to think about just challenging yourself to at least become a subscriber of the e-newspaper. I think that's $10 a month, maybe even $10 a year. It's so affordable. Please support this newspaper, the Afro-American newspaper, and you could find it at www.afro.com. Please do that for me and the Renee Allen and Friends show, and be a part of what they're doing. Keep that newspaper alive and kicking so we can know what's going on with our people, right? Yes! Okay, well, what's going on here? Oh, my goodness. Okay. We have some wonderful events, one of which is the government event. If you want to know about the government, Angel Leave Us, she puts on phenomenal events at the City Club, and that is in Washington, D.C. I'm actually going to be her MC, and but you want to be there to learn about the government contracting and all that's going on, because it seems like it's a lot of red tape and you really can't infiltrate, but if you know the game, you can play with the players and get a government contract and so many things. So that's still open, I think, until midnight tonight, so look that up. Legacy premiere, Remy Speaks. I've partnered with her, and she's partnered with the Mystics, and on Friday, tomorrow, we are just affording some youth in the DMV a wonderful opportunity right there to just come in for a summit back to school, to watch the Mystics rehearse or play or practice is what you call it, and some food and just some wonderful, wonderful lineup with some speakers, I believe, from the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County and so many other things. So come on down. I think it was $48 and now I think it's $20, but you can inbox me on my Facebook, Renee Allen and Friends, or Renee Allen. And if you really need a sponsor, I'll sponsor a few. But just it's between you, me, and God. If you can handle it or not. So you can inbox me and let me know your story and why you want to come, and we'll work it out. Okay, I'll work it out with Remy because she's a big soul. She's actually in flight from Nigeria as we speak. She'll be here, I think, tomorrow at 12 noon. It's like a 10, 11-hour flight. Okay, so what else do we have, Jacob? Oh, Fashion Meets Health. My girl, our girl, friend to the show, Diamond Shelton Balboa. She is just a hoot. She's a boutique owner of Keys to Impressions on Georgia Avenue, one in Silver Spring, one in D.C. near the former Walter Reed Hospital. And she's partnered with some big hitters, y'all. Do you see that? MedStar Family, Department of Health, DC, my goodness, and of course, Fashion Meets Health. And she gives those wonderful events, bringing fashion and health together so you can look good and feel good and live longer, right? I love it. I think lastly we have, oh yes, the bishop. I go to this church. I usually go where I like to go and where God leads me to go, and I think he's led me here. I think I may have to consider becoming a member because this Bishop Donald Wright is the bombdiggity.com, y'all. I mean, I just get chills when he talks to you and you feel like he's just talking to you. He's just so touchable and so transparent about things. Even if it doesn't come across in our ears, he hears from God, and he's very blessed and very ordained. I just love him. And I love, of course, his bride, which is Lady Nakia Wright, our co-host every third Wednesday with a woman's voice. And I'm going to be at that brunch. And I think it's only $10. He will pour into you like no other. Please meet me here. And that Tanya Lewis, oh my goodness, she is hysterical. She is a comedian without any curse words, and she'll have you laughing more than some of them that curse. So I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It's only $10 at Jabach Ministries, right off Pennsylvania Avenue, right around the corner from Marlowe Furniture. But please meet me there. You'll have a ball. If not, I'll reimburse your $10. I'm telling you, that's how much fun we have when we go to Jabach Ministries. So I think that's all we have for now. I wanted to wish my dear friend, Reverend Dr. George Holmes, a happy birthday. Yes. Happy birthday to you. And anyone else who's celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you out there in WLVS land. We're going to be right back. If you were here with me last Wednesday, you heard a woman, Becky Kane, who has a story that will bring tears to your eyes, just like our guest here today, Jacqueline Iverson. And let me tell you, she has a story to tell. And I'm going to bring back one of the songs from Becky Kane, which is Hello, Goodbye, one of my favorite off the CD she gifted me with. So I hope you enjoy it. And we'll be right back with who? Jacqueline Iverson.
Let me redeem myself. Yeah. Hello and goodbye. Hello, hello, goodbye. Hello and goodbye. Hello, say goodbye to yesterday. Say hello to what this day. Don't be so anxious to move ahead. Beware of creatures in the waters we tread. Go slow and you can stop the race. Just remember what the Father said, and wherever you lay, you got to make your bed. You reap what you sow, and that's every phrase. So what you give is always what you get. Remember, it's a blessing to share you high, and it's a blessing to say goodbye. I'm a messenger just trying to remind. So listen close, 'cause we ain't got all the time. And it's a blessing to say hi. It's a blessing to say goodbye. I'm a messenger just trying to remind. So listen close, 'cause we ain't got all the time. And hello and goodbye. Hello, hello, goodbye. Hello and goodbye. Hello, say goodbye to yesterday. Say hello to what is coming, and I still have more to say. Yes, it seems I'm running out of time. Hello and goodbye. Hello, hello, goodbye. Hello and goodbye. Hello, say goodbye to yesterday. Say hello to what is coming, and I still have more to say. Yes, it seems I'm running out of time.
Hello and welcome back to the Renee Allen and Friends Show right here on WLVS Radio, the largest online radio broadcast in the United States. And we are right across from Howard University in the nation's capital. How blessed are we?
Oh my goodness, immensely blessed.
I am sitting here with a amazing human being, awesome woman, entrepreneur, business owner, Jackie Iverson. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Renee. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You smile all the time. I love it. No, we had you on here. First of all, I want to talk about the military.
Okay.
Because you don't look like you've been in the military, and I hear that a lot too. So I want to talk about, your experience in the military. Why did you go in the military? And coming out, what did you get out of it?
Okay, that is actually a very interesting story, so thank you for that question. I actually decided to join one day. I was just riding down the street in my car, and I was just overwhelmed with, the problems of life that many people face from day to day. And I just happened to park in front of the recruiter station, and I decided to get out and ask them, hey, what is it that you can do for me to help me change my situation? So that was that. After that, I took off running.
That's where he put you.
Exactly.
Won't he do it, girl?
Exactly. Yes.
So coming out, how long did you stay in the military?
Well, I did 4 years active duty, and I did the bulk of my service in Germany, in K-Town. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, I hello, more people in the studio. So let's talk about you exiting the military.
Okay.
In that transition, let's talk about that, because I find a lot of veterans, including myself back then, you really don't know what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And some are set up with a job, but I think most are not.
Yes.
So where were you? Where was your mindset leaving the military?
Well, honestly, my mindset and my focus was on going back to school and educating myself. So that's where I put my focus. And as soon as I got out, about a month later, I was registered in college and working on my first degree, which was my associate. And then after I completed that in about 12 months, I was on my way to finish my bachelor's.
Oh my God. Yes. Good. Now, was that with the military? I forgot what it's called that quick.
Are you talking about the credits?
Yes.
Well, I really didn't accumulate any credits to go towards college. I had already went to college before I joined, so some of those credits transferred over, and then I took accelerated classes.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So, I had the opportunity to visit your salon, and it is so angelic and so relaxing and tranquil.
Yes.
What motivated you to open up the salon? Let's go back a little bit as to what happened to you and the metamorphosis that occurred in your illness.
Well, Renee, it was so interesting. I was back in 2014. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. At this point in my life, number one, it was not hereditary. No one in my family had ever gone through it. So to me, it took me by surprise. I was definitely shocked by how far along and how advanced it was by the time it was diagnosed. So I immediately got ready to do battle. And I said, you know what? If the doctor is telling me I have to remove them, I have to, remove my breast in order for me to live and still continue to be a mother to my son, that's what I'm going to do. Yes. So, yeah, so the battle started there. Yes. And shortly after that, I started chemo about 6 weeks after I had my bilateral mastectomy. And with that, I immediately, about 10 days after I started, lost all my hair. Ooh. And I could deal with the mastectomy, but the loss of my hair was like the most traumatic thing for me, because some of the things that they don't tell you is that you're going to lose your hair, but you don't know that you're going to lose your eyebrows, you're going to lose your eyelashes, you're going to lose your fingernails, toenails, things like that. So it was just an extremely traumatic experience for me, because it affected what people saw on the outside.
Wow, now I didn't know that you lose your fingernails. Wow. Absolutely, yes. My. Yes. Let's talk about a little bit more, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Because you smile so much. And the reason why I said that when we first started and she came on stage is because people who have really witnessed maybe 1/8 of what Jackie has endured, some don't smile at all. So it's just so refreshing and brings joy to my soul to see you smiling with all that you've been through. So yes. I just wanted to bring that story, to the world.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you dealt with that and what you did to triumph.
Okay, so when I tell you I had everything but the kitchen sink thrown at me going through this illness, not only did I lose my hair, my nails, my visual appearance, but I also lost my car while I was in treatment one day. The repo man, he came and he got my car. Eventually lost my housing. Anything that you could lose basically was gone at this point. And all I knew how to do was to think and focus on how I was going to rebuild after this was over, because I knew that God had something planned for me that was bigger than this situation. This situation was leading me to my purpose. So that's why I can still smile.
Yes, you have such a nice smile. When you talk about leading into your purpose, what a great segue. Let's talk about this purpose of yours, which is just brightening up Temple Hills, and it's going to be brightening up the world eventually, yeah.
Well, what I was actually able to create out of my own situation was my organization, which is called Infinity Speaks. Yes. And Infinity Speaks is basically an organization that I created that basically helps service men and women that are suffering from any type of hair loss that are U.S. military veterans or active duty personnel. This is at absolutely no cost to that individual. We bring them in, we personalize and customize their unit for them, we take their measurements, we let them, basically choose their style selection. And like I tell the ladies that come out and, they come into our salon, if you want to be Holly Berry, we can take care of that. If you want to be a mermaid, we can take you up to 24 inches. So come out and pick what you want.
I love it. Now let me back up a little bit, because I heard that free, no cost to us. So how is that? Or is that a secret?
It's actually not a secret. It's probably a well-kept secret, but it's not really a secret. The way that we're able to bring this service to the men and the women that that have served our country is through their benefits package. Wow. So if you have a benefits package with TRICARE, if you have a benefits package with the VA Medical Center, you can come and see me. We want to see you. Wow. We want to service you. And an additional service that we provide with the unit is that we also provide a bi-weekly service that allows that individual to have therapeutic scalp massages and have their unit refreshed for them. So every 2 weeks you can come in and we roll out the red carpet for you.
Oh, that is awesome. You know, I have been privy to some wonderful women. There's Mia Wright, who works with the families of cancer survivors and the families. We're gonna talk. We're gonna partner. Okay. You know, because I'm feeling you, and I'm feeling. I love veterans, of course. You know, I'm a veteran.
Yes,
so
yes,
girl. So we're gonna do some things because you're pouring into the veterans, and that's what they need. A lot of them are so forgotten.
Yes, yes,
know? Yes. Can you give us one story about how this affected one veteran that came into your salon?
Oh, actually, I can. One of our it is so many touching stories of women and men that come through our salon. But one woman actually reached out to me about 2 weeks ago, and she was actually staying in one of the homeless veterans transitional housing facilities, and she was just up in awe. She said, "You know what? I have this interview coming up on Monday, and she didn't have anything to put on her head. She was suffering from alopecia, and she was like, what is it that you guys can do to help? And we told her, well, you know, this is how you go through the process. And she was like, well, but Monday is my interview. Yeah. And so I just activated our mobile service. Because if you can't come out, honey, we will bring the party to you.
That's real commitment there, y'all. Wow.
So we sent out a unit to her, and she was ready for her interview on Monday, and we kind of went back and serviced her on the back end with it. So,
wow. God bless you.
Thank you.
Well, I wish you were around. Well, you're around now, so that's all that matters. I'm just
Absolutely.
So let's talk about what you're getting ready to do. Some things that are next.
Well, I'm so glad you asked me that, Miss Renee. So the thing that we have that's up and coming, with my surgery when I had my bilateral mastectomy, I also had all of my lymph nodes removed from my right side. So I suffer from a condition called lymphedema. With that, I have learned that it has been very difficult for me to find clothing that does not compromise my condition. So coming up this fall, we're going to be introducing the Infinite Diva collection.
And this is already.
This is going to be for all women that are suffering from any type of lymphedema. So we will have all items custom made to fit that individual and to help them feel more comfortable with their condition.
Yes. Well, can you explain a little? You said that lymph nodes are removed, but what happens when they're removed, and why is it so important?
Okay, so first of all, the reason that they were removed was because the doctors wanted to run tests on my lymph nodes, and they actually wanted to see if the cancer had moved from my breast into my arm. The lymph node is actually, a lot of people don't know this, but the lymph node is actually like the little mini highway inside of your body. So it tells the blood where to go and what avenue to travel down and what freeway, what exit to get off. So since I have no lymph nodes, that part of my body doesn't work anymore. So the swelling comes from the blood becoming backed up in my arm, so it has to be worked out. And when that happens, it swells a lot, and it's usually swollen all the time, but it goes from different levels of swelling. So with that, I can fit my arm through most of my stretchable garments, but I can't fit my arm through like any of my coats and things like that. Last year I went through the whole winter just wearing vests. So yeah, so I wanted to come up with something that was going to actually help a woman continue to accent her positive features and kind of camouflage that a little bit, because one thing that bothered me the most last winter was when people kept continuously coming up to me saying, what's wrong with your arm? That's not something that I really wanted to lead with. Right. So, I just think that, it's got to be somebody else out there that was like me, that feels a little bit like, hey, I want to look like everybody else.
Yes. I'm sure there are thousands. It's just that you are the one that's chosen to make a difference and to do something about it. Here lies the Diva Collection. Right?
Infinite Diva.
Oh, Infinite Diva.
Yes,
oh,
yes,
girl.
yes.
So I want to see the logo as soon as you have it.
Coming soon.
Well, what would you, with all you've been through, and I know we have a short time, with all you've been through, Jackie, can you look into the TV land there and just talk to the women who maybe just heard they were diagnosed with cancer? And what advice would you give them, even the ones going through it, but more importantly, the ones that just, heard and not sure quite know what to do?
Well, the first piece of advice to any woman that is going through it, family members, anybody that's that this disease has touched, I want you to focus on the positive. I want you to know that I was a stage 3 cancer patient, and I'm not supposed to be sitting here today speaking to you. I was diagnosed and given a 54% chance of survival. If I can beat it, you can beat it. It's not impossible. So it's all in your mindset, mind over matter. Focus on the disease and kick it in the butt. You have to. You have to.
Yes, yeah. Well, I want her on my team. So you on my team, Jackie?
Yes.
And I'm on yours.
Yes, I got you.
So tell me how to get a hold of you.
Okay, so if you want to reach us, you can call us at 855-677-3257. Again, that's 855-677-3257. We are Infinity Speaks. We can also be reached at www.infinityspeaks.com. If you want to email me directly, I am available at jiverson@infinityspeaks.com.
And let them adjust your crown. There you have Jackie Iverson. I don't want to let her go, but we'll bring her back. You know how we do here in the Renee Allen and Friends show. I love you so much.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless
I love you too. God bless you as
we
well.
will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Gave my best to some who only gave their worst, but that's alright. I never had your love, well you won't be the last, nor you my first, so that's alright. 'Cause this life will be back around. So if your heart is where it stays, now that ain't right. And what good's a song if you don't sing your pain away every night? 'Cause this life will be back around. So don't let it let you down. Say the night is young and we are too. Let's break some rules, 'cause we ain't got no curfew. People say, oh, The night is young, and we are too, yeah. The night is young, ooh, baby. Say the night is young, and we are too. Let's bring some rules, 'cause we ain't got no curfew. And yeah, say,
Hello and welcome back to the Renee Ellen Friends Show right here in the nation's capital. I have one of the nation's finest women. That's my opinion and so many others. Is Dr. Ife Williams, who is the president of the National Congress for Black Women. Yes!
Hi, ma'am.
Wonderful to see you again. We had this planned a few weeks ago, but we actually just sat next to each other at the Afro 125th anniversary this past weekend. So I got to see you twice.
Okay, well, hey, it must be something to that.
Yes.
Third time is the charm.
Yes, well, we're going to do a third because I love being around you. Let's talk about you. I'm so glad to have you in this studio, and I know how busy you are, how much you travel. Let's talk a little bit about your childhood, because I know a lot of people ask me about you, and we don't get a chance to talk that much. So I want to take advantage of this time.
Yeah, that's a well-kept secret, since I'm so far, in terms of chronologically advancement, that I've forgotten a little bit about what my childhood was like. However, I'm one of 9 children. I grew up down south in the state of Louisiana, and want to, congratulate my mayor, Landrew, down in New Orleans, for just handling those statutes that are so racist. Took the leadership in it. I'm very proud of him. But my mom is still living. My mom is almost 95 years old now. She still gets up in the morning and goes out into her garden, takes care of her plants. My sister told me last night she came home and cooked her dinner and washed her dishes.
Glory to God.
She's still working, and so I'm very proud of that. My older sister lives here in Washington, D.C. I had a chance to go to a lot of schools. I attended Peabody High School in Alexandria, Louisiana, which is a famous high school. I also had an opportunity to go to Grambling University. Grambling University, yes, where I got my undergraduate degree. But my mom always taught us that you can get all this education, but you just got to have some character, you got to have some morals, and all of these kinds of things. And she taught us we had to take care of our younger brothers and sisters. So we grew up with that. I graduated from Grambling with honors. I went to California to live, went to UCLA, then went on to the University of Southern California, got a master's degree. I decided after that to get a PhD, then came to Howard University Law School and got a law degree, and then I went back and I got another doctorate degree in the ministry. I am an ordained minister now. In fact, Sunday I am doing the message at my church at Greater Works Christian Church in Suitland, Maryland. So everybody's invited at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Yes. And they like for me to, be there because I bring my friends. So they're already responding. But I had a wonderful childhood, and I grew up with a single mother. My dad left home when I was 11, but that didn't stop us from doing things, because my mom insisted that we do things to serve our community. And that's what I do today, is work for the National Congress of Black Women as the national president and CEO. And I enjoy service because I believe what Dr. George Washington Carver said years ago, you may have all the money, it doesn't matter whether you have money in the bank, what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes you wear. What really matters and what measures success is your service, and I believe that.
Yes, ma'am. And you've been serving all of your life. I want to bring up someone who really brought, I've known you for quite a long time, but it wasn't until the late Sheila Stewart connected us.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to say, we miss her, don't we?
Oh, we do so much. She was like a daughter to me, as you know. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's all about connecting, collaborating. I mean, Sheila Stewart did so much, and you gave her an award on behalf of her.
She was a big community servant herself, and she was never jealous of anyone. She always tried to promote people like you and like me and many of her friends. You would find her doing that. She'd stay in the background often. I would always call on her to moderate our program because everybody in the audience practically knew her and loved her. Yes.
Well, speaking of which, look, I was waiting till the end, but since we're on that, it's a nice segue into the brunch. We can talk about that twice today. So if we can put up the flyer, let's talk about that brunch, Dr. Ife.
Okay. We have an annual brunch. This is our 33rd brunch, where we will be doing it the morning after the Congressional Black Caucus ends on Saturday night. So we call this our Congressional Awards brunch, and we have people from all over the country there. We'll be honoring some wonderful people. We always honor what we call a good brother, and this year that would be Dr. Cornell Brooks, our former president of NAACP, who did such a fine job with those young people and helped the organization so much.
And didn't get his due, in my opinion.
Absolutely. We also will be honoring, hopefully he hasn't responded yet, but Dr. Lonnie Bunch for his work with the African American Museum. We will be honoring the wonderful Senator Kamala Harris of California.
Wow.
And we always honor all the newly elected congresswomen, so there will be 3 this year, and then Senator Harris. Now, we will also honor the mayor of Camden, New Jersey. She's getting ready to leave office, I'm told, but I'm told she has done a wonderful job in cleaning up that city. We know that Camden did not have a very good reputation. We like to honor people who are doing things and serving their community.
Yes, you do.
And so we are looking forward to it. We'll have Dave Bass, who always does that wonderful music. Everybody says he sounds like Sam Cooke.
He does.
And the women enjoy it every year, so he'll be with us again this year.
Yes. Now, there's one person, maybe you said it and I didn't hear it, but...
Wow, how could I forget?
You told me at the dinner.
Our wonderful sister, April Ryan, will be one of our honorees, and we're so excited about her being there. For those of you who don't know her, she is a White House correspondent, and of course, she speaks her mind.
Yes, she does.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because when someone on 1600...
Pennsylvania
Avenue.
Yeah,
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Tried to get her to act like she was a secretary. She said, "I am not your secretary." So she does speak her mind.
And also tried to shut her up. Remember, somebody to stop shaking her head.
Yeah,
well, I admire the sister because
I do too.
She didn't mind. Some people think, well, I might lose my job or whatever. Not April. She is still speaking her mind. And that's the kind of reporter that we need.
Yes. She was just here a few months ago with Bishop T.D. Jakes, and right upstairs in the WLVS studio. So I got to see her for a second. But kudos to you, Dr. Ife Williams, for all that you do for people. I mean, let's go back to the founding members of the National Congress.
And before we do that, can I tell people how they can come? Because we
Absolutely.
invite everybody
yes,
brothers
please.
and sisters to come.
Ma'am.
You can go to our website at nationalcongressbw.org. National Congress BW for Black Women, nationalcongressbw.org. Or you can always call me. I answer all the calls.
You do.
We never let any go undone. But if you have more questions, go to just call me on 202-678-6788. That's 202-678-6788. And even when I'm in town on weekends, I still answer the calls.
Yes, that's one thing I love about you. She does it all. She's a one-woman band.
Haven't heard it put that way, but that's about it, though.
And there it is right there. Thank you, Jacob.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, you can...
and I know you're going to be there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
you know I'm going to be there.
absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And you can inbox me if you want tickets, and I can, whatever way you can get there, because we really want you to be there. It sells out every year.
And for small businesses that want to come and be a vendor, they can also do that. We make the price such that small businesses can afford to be vendors at our events. So again,
that's why I'll let Lady Nakia Wright know
Yes.
about that. She has a lot of great vendors. So yes, I'll let them know. So let's hear about some of the things. I mean, you have a lifetime of stories, but is there one that we could share with the WLVS listeners about you overcoming something as a woman in this prestigious position and what you may have gone through?
Well, always what happens to women leaders is they kind of get left out. When people think of leaders, they think of black men. when they think of leaders on the other side of women, they think of white women. So we have to usually push our way in to present what we have to offer, because there's never been a time when black women didn't have to take a leadership. In fact, there's an African proverb that says, "It is the woman who holds the sky up." So we hold those skies up all the time, whether we're recognized or not. And so that's why we have a theme now called Our Stories Matter. And we'll look at inclusion, because we know that we have to promote what we do. Otherwise, we're not on the evening news every day. It would be nice, if we could. But we appreciate people like you who bring us on. We know our real friends listen to you, right? They view you. So we know that they're going to hear about the wonderful things that we do in terms of service. We serve women and their families no matter what the need is. Sometimes it's scholarships, sometimes it's money for the baby diapers, sometimes it's clothing. We've helped people in floods in other areas like Louisiana and North Carolina. We do health, you name it, education, we do it. This summer, I had 5 interns in my office. What? They all had to sit around the same table. But let me tell you, those young women worked. They were with the Marion Barry summer program. Oh, yes. And they were so wonderful. I used to work for Mr. Barry, too. I was his chief of staff at one time, along with my sister, Linda Green. She left, and when she left, I succeeded her.
Wow, that's something I did not know about you. Yes. And look, I'll always love me some Marion Barry.
Yeah, and almost every young person you meet, or even more chronologically advanced people you meet in the city, will tell you, I came up through the Marion Barry Summer Youth Program, and that's still going on, even though he's left us. But the young people are wonderful, and I was blessed to have 5 this summer.
Wow, yes, and I've been to your office, and there's a lot to do.
Yes.
It's not one time I have visited Dr. Ife Williams, and she's not in the trenches with interns, with whomever. She does it all, and I'm just so excited and honored to know you. And yes. So, what else is going on with you?
Well, we have. I've worked, for our real president, who I understand, broke the Twitter mark. The day exceeded everybody, whoever was out there, and that's President Barack Obama. Yes. I was just so delighted, first of all, to work to help him get elected. I mean, you would have thought that I was running for office. I traveled all over this country trying to make it happen, and then after he was elected, I didn't want a job because I wanted to stay with the National Congress of Black. But I had the honor of serving as a on the Presidential Scholars Commission, and I still call him my president. And I know there are a whole lot of people who'd love to have him back.
Me too. Me too.
Yes.
You also work. You were not only appointed as that, but you were also a presidential partner.
Oh,
so
yes,
what
of
does
course.
that mean?
Well, it means we worked to help to get him elected, first of all, because that was the first thing we needed to do. Sometimes, people celebrate after the person has won, but there's a lot of work that goes on into getting the person elected. And we were there from day one. In fact, the joke is that I was supporting Barack before Michelle was.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I know.
By the way, they are some of our supporters. They have been ever since they've been in the White House. They've been supporters. And Mrs. Obama has actually spoken for one of our events.
Yes, I think I have it. If I sent it.
The other thing she did, we were able to put the first black woman ever to have a memorial in the U.S. Capitol. That was Sojourner Truth. And Mrs. Obama came to unveil it for us. And then after we got Sojourner Truth in the Capitol, finally a group of women were able to get Rosa Parks there. You see, it takes just starting one. So we're waiting on another group to get someone else there now, because we certainly deserve to have more than 2 black women in that United States Capitol.
Absolutely. And with your help, it will be done.
That's right, because they told us we couldn't do Sojourner initially when we started it, and it took us about 15 years to actually get it done. But, I have a friend who's a mayor in one of the small cities around who says, if you want to get something done, you give it to a woman. But if you really want to get it done, you give it to a black woman. Because we have that kind of determination. And I love him for saying that. Yes.
Well, it's true. We've been nursing other people's babies and doing all kinds of stuff. So let's don't even go there, huh?
You're right.
We've been holding it down for everybody. Glory to God.
But we recognize our good brothers, and we do honor at least 2 men this year as we honor someone every year, brothers who are doing wonderful things for our community. And when we do things for our community, we're also helping to improve other communities. It's not like we do something in the black community and it benefits only us. I work with all of the women, no matter what their color or culture. I'm one of the lead spokespersons for the Equal Rights Amendment that women have been trying to get. Most people don't even know women are not in the Constitution, and we've got to get it done. Yes.
Yeah, I love that about you. For all women, of course, you're a strong, loving, giving and serving black women, but you do work for all women. And if all women would do that, we'd all be, reaping the benefits, so just glory. I want to throw somebody in the hat for possibly next year. That's Dr. Marco Clark, who is the president and principal of the Richard Wright Public Charter School, Journalism and Media. What an awesome, and I have to introduce y'all if you don't know him. Oh my goodness, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't.
You don't? Okay.
Everybody thinks I know everybody. There are a few people I don't know.
Maybe a few, because you do know everyone, and everyone for sure knows you, Dr. Ife Williams. Is there anything you want to tell the audience as we leave this segment today with you?
I want to recognize some of our supporters and some of the people who helped us to get started. My predecessors were Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, who started the organization in 1984 along with Dr. C. Dolores Tucker, who was the first black Secretary of State from Pennsylvania. And we've had wonderful people like Dr. Dorothy Irene Height, and some of our supporters are the wonderful Cicely Tyson. She was here this past week. Yes. Oh, yes.
Friend to the show, Reverend Pastor Dawn Harvey and her were on the same panel.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I always like to give honor to those who work to help us get started. So this year we're 33. This is our 33rd annual brunch. But the way that we came about quickly was at the San Francisco Democratic Convention, when no black woman was considered to run for vice president. We were not bothered by the fact that no one was chosen, but we had Barbara Jordan and Shirley Chisholm and all these wonderful black women, and they weren't even asked. They weren't even considered. Just a white woman was chosen, and that's what happens so often. We get left out, but it's okay. Still, we rise, we work, we do the things that we have to do for our community, and we do it without bitterness. My friend Dick Gregory, who by the way is ill now, is in the hospital, so pray for him.
We love you.
Yes, he always tells me, don't worry about that kind of thing. You just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being not just loved, but being lovable. He says it's so important to be lovable, and I remember that every day of my life.
Yes. Wow,
I hope I live up to it.
You do, you do, and I'm sure you will. You have to be next to her and visit her office, or just reach out to Dr. Ife Williams to know just the breadth of the earth, of the type of women who really walk and talk and shake and bake and move and groove. They really are the real McCoys that are moving us forward and our mission forward. And I just cannot thank you enough for all you have done for America, for women, and for all people.
And I say God is not through with me yet, and we're looking for some more wonderful sisters out there who will become members. We don't mind if brothers join too. They just can't run it, but they can join. Yes.
Well, we could put, if we have just a few minutes to wrap up, Dr. Ife, is there anyone else you want to thank or anything else you'd like to share with us as women? I mean, I'm just like a sponge sopping everything up.
Well, we have several supporters around and across the country, and of course we've had support from Ford Motor. We've had support from Premier Bank, which was known as the Women's Bank at one time. We have to deal with them, and of course we work for years, ever since our existence with Industrial Bank. Pepco has always been supportive of us. Comcast has always been supportive, and so we like to mention them. And of course, I mentioned the Obamas and Cicely Tyson. They continue to support the work that we do. We're very proud of it, and we're also proud of the women and the men who come year after year to be there to help us raise funds to carry on the work that we do. We do things for many people. We contribute so many clothing to Covenant House and to some of the churches in the area. And it may seem like a small thing, but it's a big thing for the people who receive that help. So we're proud of the fact that we are a service organization, and we work for the benefit of black women and their families. It doesn't matter whether it's the son, the daughter, the spouse, whatever. If a a black woman says, I need help, and we can provide it, we do just that. And we've got chapters all across the country.
Yes.
So
I met some wonderful women the last few years from your chapters.
So I know you travel, and many of your listeners travel. So as you travel and you're not sure that we have a chapter in the city to where you're going, just give me a call. I can let you know. I know all of them. I know everywhere they are. And when I started out, this organization had about 6 active chapters because Dr. Tucker had been ill for some time. And when she selected, this is my 12th year. Yes. And she is the one who appointed me to be the leader once she passed away. And she and Shirley Chisholm passed away at about the same time in 2005. So about 5 years ago, my board thought I was doing a pretty good job. So they appointed me, like Marion Barry, they appointed me to be president for life. Yeah, I don't
President
have to
for
run.
life. Hashtag
I don't have to run for office anymore. And I love my members. We've got over 100 chapters now. We came from 6 to over 100.
I'm gonna have to become a member.
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
gonna talk.
You're already a member at heart because this is promoting
true.
what we do.
This
of
is
course.
true. Well, I love what
but
you
I mean,
do.
we don't mind the money. You know?
I'm gonna get some money going on. I want to bring up Diamond Shelton Balboa because she's having that Fashion Meets Health, and she actually came to the studio. So we're going to close out with 2 spectacular women. And if you could just invite them out, give them your information, and we will close out the show.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, guys. Well, this coming Saturday, you know, you can tell when you're from D.C. and you say Saturday versus Saturday. We're having a community day event, and it's actually going to be held at 3 different locations. If they can bring the flyer up.
Yes, it wasn't Fashion Meets Health and the community. Yes, thank you.
We partnered with Washington Hospital Center. We partnered with the Department of Health. I'm actually a board member now, so we can actually put the vision of Fashion Meets Health out there. But the Community Day event is actually going to take place in 3 different locations. You can see right there on Rising Sun Baptist Church, Imani Temple, which is in Suitland, Maryland, and Inner Light Ministry. Awesome. And we're giving away school supplies. We're giving away free screenings. We're giving, if you haven't had your teeth cleaned or checked and you want to go back to school, you have to have this done. Yeah. We're going to have Washington Hospital Center has blessed us with what is the truck called? I can't think of the name of it, but a truck where you could actually go on and get screenings done. Yeah, your vitals. And one thing that we just announced, I'm giving away a free makeover. Oh. So, yeah, so you have to, yes, I love to. So we're giving this away, but we're also giving away greens. We're giving away fresh vegetables. We're giving away. Oh, wonderful! Yes. So we're giving away all these amazing gifts, gift certificate, gas cards. Because as parents, what we do is we actually sacrifice for our children and for them to go back to school. Sorry,
that's okay.
For them to go back. Oh, okay. Key to Impressions is the name of my organization, but my nonprofit is called Fashion Meets Health. And I want you guys to come out. Can I do a call? Okay. Phone number is 301-202-4524. Again, 301-202-4524. And you also can visit our website, key2impressions.com.
Yes, so KEY2impressions.com. All right. I got it down, y'all, because my first show here with Silver Logan Sharp about 2.5 years ago. My stylist dressed me, and I mean, it was just awesome. She's a great stylist, and you have to look her up on Facebook. And I just wish you the best. Look, it's time to go. Yeah. And wow, I had such a great time talking with Dr. Ife Williams and Jackie Iverson, and of course, friend to the show, fashionista Diamond Shelton Balboa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for tuning in. If we could put up that flyer for the brunch as we let go. I'll see you next week. Please support this brunch. It's right after CBC. God bless you, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Miss Renee.